Welcome to another Checiegirl Creations video. So today I will be doing another watercolor card. This is a Mother's Day card this time. And I'll be using these brushes. I got them from Hobbycraft. They're just round synthetic brushes, mostly because I can see the one I've been using is showing some wear and tear. And I also wanted to get some like different sizes as well for when I wanted to do like smaller spaces. And they did work really well. I tested them out in this video and they worked really nicely. So they're from Hobbycraft and they're great value. Oh, and if you would like to see this video in real time with real-time commentary, you can become a patron from just $3 a month and you can get early access to my Friday videos, which will be in real time, and that is linked down below. So I wanted to kind of be abstract with this one. So I was just kind of like planning out the colors I was going to use. I thought I would do like a vase of flowers. So I used, the colors I settled with were Ultramarine blue, yellow ochre, cadmium, red pale hue, and sap green. Of course, everything that I use below will be listed, like the colors and materials and stuff, just in case I miss something. I'm sorry if I sound a bit weird. My hay fever started up and it's hit me pretty hard, so my sinuses are a bit upset at the moment. So once I planned things out, I went straight in. I didn't like sketch anything out or anything. You can tell by how off-centered I am. But since it was a card, I didn't worry too much about that because I was going to cut this down anyway to fit on a card base nicely. So first I put the vase in, and what I should have done, I think I should have started with the flowers and then put the vase in, because then I had to go over the vase with one of the flowers that just didn't really look right. And I'm sorry I get my head in the frame a lot. I'm really trying to work on that. It's driving me crazy, so I'm sure it's bothering you guys. So yeah, sorry about that. I did do that quite a few times to like see what I was doing. So I'm putting the leaves in, mostly just by pressing down the paintbrush, to be honest, like that. Just so that they're quite simple. I wasn't really going to go into much detail with like this. I wanted it to be quite abstract, but I ended up making it a bit cramped. So I do have to go in and like add details with a pen because it all just looked like one big blob. Yeah, it was just really cramped and it just didn't like work out how I wanted. So I'm adding these twigs. I basically mix a brown using like the blue, orange, maybe a bit of the yellow and the green. You just, when you want to make a brown, you just use the colors you've been using, and that tends to make a brown. To add like these twiggy bits, because everything just seems so smushed, I felt as if I needed to bring like the bouquet like a bit like farther out, and so I did that with the twigs. And it's quite light there, but I do go in and darken that. I think I might do that now. Oh no, I'm going to add the middle of the flowers. Again, I just mix a kind of brownie color to do that. And I just very like abstractly kind of put them in. And I'm also adding some like shadows to the flowers as well. I was trying to like separate them from each other, but it just wasn't really working out because I also didn't really want to go too dark with this, but I just ended up making quite a few mistakes with this one, but that's okay. These things happen sometimes. So I mixed a darker brown for the twigs and that looked a lot better. It stood out a bit more. And I'm just using one round brush. I think I'm using the largest one at the moment. I might go in with a smaller one, I think. I think I do, but I can't remember when. I think I do use like a smaller size, but again, that will be listed down below. And I thought I would mention, you would have already seen this video, but I will be having a flash sale next week, starting on the 24th to the 29th of March. I won't talk much about it because I did put a video up, I think yesterday, talking about it, so I'll link that video if you want to learn more. And yeah, so you do look out for that flash sale. Everything will be 65% off, and on some days they'll be 75% off, so you can check that video out for more information, and my shop links are down below. So I strengthened the leaves a bit. I think, did I mention I used sap green? I think I did. I don't know why I forgot in such a short space of time, but yes, I strengthened the leaves and I thought I would just add some kind of like buds to the twigs. And this is when I was thinking, if it didn't turn out too well, I was going to just like restart, because it didn't take me too long to do this. This video is so short because it took me like an hour to put everything together, pretty much, excluding drying time. So yeah, it didn't really take much. So I brought up my UniPin fine liners. I think I used 0.2, 0.1, and 0.05 to add the details. And for these details, I wasn't being very like kind of realistic, quote unquote realistic. I just was kind of adding doodly bits just to kind of bring some more interest and make it look less flat, because it just wasn't looking right. And even after I added the doodles, it wasn't looking too good, but I was going to go in with my Uniball white gel pen to add some highlights. So I was just adding a lot of texture with the pens, with the fine liners, hoping to kind of just like bring some interest into this painting. So yeah, so I just kind of went a bit doodly with this one, had fun with it. A lot of the time when like things aren't going right and you don't really have anything to lose, now is the time to experiment and see like what you want to do and how you could like improve it. So yeah, so I also added like those kind of scratchy marks to the flowers like I did with the vase, just to spice things up a little bit. So I'm thinking of anything I might have to mention, but I don't think so. Oh, actually something I do have. I have digitalized my In Full Flow design, the design like with the uterus on it, and I've put it up on Redbubble. I will link that down below. There's basically like all the colors of the rainbow. There's red and pink, then there's orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, as well as black and white, and you can get all of those designs on all sorts of different apparel and like merchandise on Redbubble. So yeah, so I will link that down below. My Redbubble is linked down below, but I'll link that specific page down below, so you could see like all those different things: phone cases, mugs, stickers, all sorts. So yeah, so you can check those out, and I have posted that on Instagram and Facebook if you want to like see those photos. So I'm going in with my white gel pen to add some highlights, and this is when things started to come together. Yeah, I just like, again, I went quite doodly with the highlights, and that just helped to brighten things up. I added a lot of highlights because everything was looking so dark, and it really did start to improve around then. So you can see I'm going kind of overboard with the highlights, but it looked good, I think, with all those highlights to just brighten things up. I also think that, yeah, I kind of added kind of more scratchy highlights to the vase as well, just to, I wanted to show that the vase might have been shiny. So I'm going to go in and add some gold, because sometimes you just gotta add gold to make something look good. And so when I'm doing gold, oh yes, this is when I'm using my small paintbrush. I do make sure my paintbrush is just like a little bit damp, so the calligraphy ink moves smoothly, and then it's just a bit easier to use with a paintbrush. The calligraphy ink is by Winsor & Newton, as well as the watercolors, the Cotman watercolors, just in case you didn't know that. And when I added the gold, it kind of covered up my highlights, so I do go back in once the ink was dry to add highlights with my gel pen. So while I was waiting for that to dry, I realized why everything looked so strange. It looked as if it was floating, so I added a shadow. And again, I just mixed the shadow color with all the colors that I was using previously, and I watered it down quite a bit and added that shadow, and that's, I think, made it look a lot better. And then I went back in with my highlights to brighten up the areas that had been covered up before. So yeah, and I also did like darken for the shadow. It was lighter like further away, but then it was quite dark like around the vase. So I did that just to kind of add some more depth to the painting. So I'll be using some black cardstock and a blank white 5x7 card blank. And my plan was to cut down the painting and then like cut a mat with the black cardstock. So I think I had like 1/2 centimeter around the painting and then a centimeter border around the black cardstock on the card blank. And I smudged something onto the paper. I'm not too sure what with, but my finger must have had something on it. So to cover that up, I added some very light splats with the colors I had used before. I didn't use any gold though, just like the orange, the yellow ochre, the ultramarine blue. And I kind of made like a kind of shadow color as well, and that helped to cover up the smudge very well. So you can see how everything looks. I've cut everything out. I thought that the white border around the on the card blank looked really plain. So once I stick down the cardstock using a tape runner and some tacky glue, I'm going around with like this gold gel pen and adding like this dash mark border. And I thought that really helped to bring things together, like pulling different elements from the painting. So the black really made it stand out. And then adding that gold border just really helped a lot. And I really liked how that turned out. So I attached the painting using these like clear photo corners, and that's the card done. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a subscriber, thanks for sticking around with me. I hope you're enjoying these videos. And yes, so don't forget to check out what I use. Check out my info flow designs on Redbubble, and don't forget about that flash sale next week. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys again next week. Oh, and please do share any creations you make if you are inspired by this video. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.